vessels similar to veins. So lymph flow through lymphatic vessels is similar to blood flow through veins. Do you have all this?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure before I start erasing it all on you. So lymphatic vessels are similar to veins because they have something to prevent the backflow of lymph.
Valves.
Yeah, valves. Just like veins have valves, so do lymphatic vessels. That's question one. That's not too bad. All right, question number 2 wants us to compare and contrast lymph nodes and the spleen. So that's what we'll do next, lymph nodes versus spleen. So I'm just gonna do them side by side. Lymph nodes here, and the spleen over here. So with lymph nodes, let's put down that there's lots of them. They're located along lymphatic vessels. Either picture that you're looking at that has the lymphatic vessels, you see that there's little green beans, little round beans. Those are the lymphatic or lymph nodes. How many spleens do we have? Just the one. What side of the body is it on?
Left.
Yes. So we'll say left side of abdomen. All right, so now we kind of know where they're located. We have lots of lymphatic lymph nodes, along the vessels, one spleen. Both of them have an outer capsule, so let's put that in. Now we got to get into function, the fun stuff. What do lymph nodes do?
Monitor and filter lymph.
Yeah. So I'm going to put in here that they filter pathogens out of the lymph. So if there happens to be any bacteria, viruses, those are pathogens in that lymph as the lymph travels through the lymph node, they will get filtered out, destroyed. Because in our lymph nodes we have macrophages and we also have lymphocytes. You guys know what macrophages do?
Phagocytosis.
Yes. Phagocytosis.
Phagocytosis.
There we go. So they will engulf and destroy pathogens like bacteria and viruses. Lymphocytes, they are complicated beasts, so we'll talk about them later, but they are also in our lymph nodes. All right, what does the spleen do? It's very similar.
I have notes do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except instead of filtering pathogens out of the lymph, it filters the blood. Blood flows through the spleen. I'm also going to put in here that the spleen stores blood. It holds a small volume of blood, kind of a little reservoir of blood. So in our spleen, it will filter pathogens out of the blood. So that means it's got macrophages and lymphocytes, right? Okay. Next part of the question wants us to distinguish between red pulp and white pulp in the spleen. That's something that we'll do in lab too. If you were to look at a tissue sample of the spleen under the microscope, you're going to see red pulp and white pulp. So what is red pulp?
Holds red blood cells.
Yep. I believe your book says it's associated with veins. Oops. So in other words, that's where we're going to have lots of blood. White pulp, that's lymphatic tissue. So in your white pulp, you are going to have lots of lymphocytes. And let's put macrophages. Also, in the red pulp along with the blood, you have macrophages. Do you guys remember back in chapter 11 with the blood that old red blood cells that are worn out and starting to get damaged. They're engulfed by macrophages in the liver, spleen, and bone marrow. So there they are in the red pulp. So far, so good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're still on question 2. The last part of it says define, oh boy, can I pronounce this, lymphangitis. That's as good as it's going to get. Anytime you see a word and then itis, what does it mean?
Information.
Inflammation. So that's just inflammation of your lymph nodes, which happens sometimes when you have an infection. And then the last one says splenectomy. What is that?
Partially or completely remove
Yeah.
of spleen.
Exactly. So if you have surgery to remove the spleen, it's called a splenectomy. Okay, so that takes care of question 2.